Hey, welcome back to another review. Once again, thanks to Till from Germany who sent me the Blu-ray of Black Rain, which is a Ridley Scott film that no one mentions. No one ever talks about this, but I would say it's one of my favorite Ridley Scott movies. It's definitely one of his more underrated ones, because Alien is his best one. I do enjoy Blade Runner. I think G.I. Jane is very underrated. I think this film's pretty underrated. I would put this in my top 5 favorite Ridley Scott films. Black Hawk Down I haven't seen forever. Gladiator I was never much a fan of. Just wasn't my cup of tea. That time period is... The whole time period Gladiator takes place in, I'm not just the most interested in. Just a personal preference. Or non-preference. But it was cool to see Ridley Scott just do a cop movie. Do a cop action thriller. Michael Douglas, I think he's a really good actor. He's been in many great films, whether it be Falling Down by Joel Schumacher. He does a good job in performance-wise in Fatal Attraction and Wall Street, and this is easily, I would say, one of his best movies. And of course, you have Andy Garcia. Kate Capshaw has an appearance in this. Wonderful music by Hans Zimmer. This is the Hans Zimmer I miss, who did scores like this, and then Days of Thunder and Broken Arrow. That's the Hans Zimmer I miss. That's the Hans Zimmer I wish we were getting more nowadays. Those scores. All these superhero movies he's doing, they just don't have the impact that Hans Zimmer score did for a film like this. And Michael Douglas, Andy Garcia, they're two cops. Michael Douglas's character is undergoing investigation by Internal Affairs. They're at a cafe one day, a little bit of a shootout. Wow, practical squibs. I miss that. Chasing the guy who at one time cut this guy's throat. Find him in this meat market. They grab him. And it's the villain's name is Sato. And they're supposed to take him back to Japan. They do, give him to these people dressed as officers, and they find out those were the wrong people. They got fucked over, and so they're staying there in Japan to try to help the police there get this guy, Sato. And what's sad is the guy who played Sato, I think he had, I want to say it was bladder cancer. Like, he was dying when he was making this. And Ridley Scott didn't know that. But the actor who played the villain said he wanted to do the film because, yeah, I'm dying, but at least I'll be on film and I'll have something people can remember. You know, I'll be on film. Film lasts forever. That sort of mentality. The guy who played the villain did a good job. It's too bad he passed away. The film looks beautiful. I think they used the location of Japan very well. And weirdly enough, the director of photography is actually Jan de Bont. It's a good-looking film, thanks to him, the photography. And Jan de Bont, of course, would go on to be a director for Keanu Reeves' Speed and Twister. So it's a well-photographed film. You have a wonderful score by Hans Zimmer. Great cast. Michael Douglas, he's a badass in the movie. Andy Garcia, he's definitely he's better used here than he is in the fucking Ghostbusters rehash as the mayor. I thought the actor Ken Takakura as Masahiro Matsumoto, sorry if I mispronounced that. Ken Takakura, he's the cop there in Japan who helps them out, try and be as nice as he can. And yeah, a bunch of stuff happens. You have some fun dialogue. Michael Douglas going, I usually get kissed before I get fucked. Investigating them in these nightclubs. Kate Capshaw is a nightclub hostess. Finding out he's sort of in the middle of this war. Getting tips on where the bad guy's hideout is. Find out it has to deal with counterfeit money. And when Michael, they tell him he's wrong, and he shows him his counterfeit money, and then he goes, "So fuck you very much." I liked that. And then you have the moment which probably was a shocking moment back in the day. I'm sure maybe people thought the movie was going to be a buddy movie between these two, but then when Andy Garcia's coat gets taken, and then yeah, that scene, nice build up, head cut off, nice effect, and that's sort of they have a nice quiet scenes of Michael Douglas mourning his partner. It meant something. It didn't mean nothing. Looking for clues, following bad guys. I did some nice looking shots, for example, in this factory with burning embers or this steel mill. Great usage of music by Hans Zimmer. Great usage of Japan. Just a very good looking film. I did not get bored with this. I thought it moved at a, even though it's a little over 2 hours, I didn't feel bored. I didn't feel it was slow. Chasing the bad guys down, shoots one guy on a motorcycle that hits something and blows up. He gets caught. They want him on a plane. This other cop, Ken Takakura, decides to help him out, find where the bad guys are at. This foot chase, which becomes this motorcycle chase, and fighting the bad guy in the mud. This struggle, and this choice. Do I kill him? No, I'm going to bring him in. And the two cops bring him in, and everyone's surprised, and the music of Hans Zimmer's rising up. And you really buy that Michael Douglas and Ken Takakura's character respect each other at the end. And he even gives, because you get the idea before that Michael Douglas's character did take some money. And so here's a chance to do it again with these counterfeit plates, but he does the right thing, gives it to him. So it shows a little arc that at the end of the film, it doesn't really say what's going to happen with him and the internal affairs stuff. Just like they bring up internal affairs at the beginning of the film, and then there's a moment where he admits to the cop in Japan what really happened. But then at the end, you don't really get what's going to happen to him. Is he going to give himself up? Is he going to... Are they going to forget about it because what happened there? Is he going to move on with his life? Is he going to go to jail? What's going to happen? They don't really... Maybe some people feel it doesn't matter. You know, this is where the story ends. And I can see that, but it's just, you know, when you brought it up for good chunks of the movie, and then at the end I'm like, okay, is he going to go to jail when he gets back to the U.S.? He's going to admit to internal affairs what happened? What's the deal here? But I don't know. So that bugged me a little bit. The finale, when they get the bad guy stronghold, I kind of wish there was more action in the fact of Michael Douglas. He has a shotgun, maybe using the shotgun more. I mean, he used it on one guy. Maybe a bit more of a shootout. You know, him and Ken Takakura fighting more bad guys, whether it be fisticuffs. I'm not saying it has to be a martial arts movie or anything, but just a little bit more of a battle, at least between the cops. It's more like them sort of battling amongst each other because one thinks the other guy fucked him over. And most of it is them sort of killing themselves, and Ken Takakura, the Japan cop, doing a little bit. But I guess would have been nice to have a bit more of a battle. Michael Douglas doing a bit more in that. A little bit more of a shootout with Michael Douglas and these bad guys. So maybe just a little bit more action on Michael Douglas's part for that finale. But hell, I could label those as nitpicks. It's a well-shot movie. The score by Hans Zimmer is great. The acting is very solid. Michael Douglas and Andy Garcia worked well together. The pacing was fine. Didn't get bored with it. It did good usage of the location in Japan. I know at the time when this came out, some people felt it was racist, which I don't understand, because one of the ideal... I don't understand that, because the Japanese cop, he's a guy who has great morals. It's the American cop who took money. So if you actually watch the film, you would go, it's not racist. Between those two cops, the little bit of immoral one is Michael Douglas's character. He's the one that's a teeny bit corrupt, while Ken Takakura isn't. And then the other American, he gets killed. So I don't understand why they call this racist when this first came out. I think even on the features, when they released... It seems like only people in America said that, because a lot of times we get this holier-than-thou attitude. Sometimes it's worth it. Like, if you're talking about a piece of shit pedophile like Victor Salva, who could suck my dick, and you probably would want to, so shove a pole up his ass, then that's when you can have a holier-than-thou attitude, go fuck him in his holes. But with a movie like this, I call bullshit on it. If people get on that high horse to make them think they're more important than they are, when in actuality, they released this in Japan, and no one had a problem with that. In fact, some people said it was the best Japanese movie they saw in a while. But yeah, Black Rain. Kate Capshaw, she's in it sporadically, and she's okay. In a way, it seems like maybe to have cut her character out, and it would have made too much of a difference. But she does alright. She's definitely not her role in Temple of Doom, if people are worried about that. One weird thing, at the very beginning of the film, Michael Douglas gets in a motorcycle race, which that's not the weird part, because that sets up the ending when he's on a motorcycle chasing the bad guy. But Luis Guzman is there, and for some reason he sounds dubbed. It doesn't sound like his voice. I'm like, is that Luis Guzman? Is he dubbed? Why is he dubbed? I don't know why. Just seemed kind of weird. But yeah, Black Rain, I think it's a Ridley Scott film that obviously there must be some fans, because it did get a special edition DVD, and then I don't know if this is on Blu-ray in the US, but this has all the features that were on the DVD. Interviews with Michael Douglas, Kate Capshaw, Andy García, Ridley Scott. So it seems like they're proud of the film. And I'm trying to see how this did the box office when it came out. It came out in 1989, around September. Debuted at #1. And I'm not sure how much this film cost, but it made about $46 million in the US. And it made 88 million foreign, so it made around 134 million worldwide. It says the budget was around 30 million, so if the budget was around 30 million and it made 46 million US, I would assume that's not a flop. I would assume that's a decent sized hit. At least a modest hit, I would think. It stayed #1 for a few weeks, and it made some money foreign-wise, and I'm sure maybe VHS and made money too. So I guess at the end of the day, you'd probably call this a success. Now, there's something on Wikipedia. Of course, Wikipedia can't always trust it, but it says here that Jackie Chan was approached to choreograph action scenes and play a small part as a villain, but decided the role did not match his values or image. I don't know if that's true, because that's nowhere in the features. Although I guess this is from an article from back in the day. I guess this is from a martial arts magazine, Black Belt, in which someone interviewed Jackie Chan. Yeah, someone asked, is it true that actor Michael Douglas asked you to arrange the action for his film Black Rain? And Chan goes, yes. When I heard that Michael Douglas's office had called me, I ran to the phone. I was so excited. Then I heard that they just wanted me to choreograph all the action and play a small part as a bad guy. I couldn't do it. My fans would never accept it if I played a small role as a villain. So, okay, that's from a Black Belt magazine. And they actually show the magazine on there. Huh. So you go. But anyway, I don't know what more I can say about Black Rain. If you haven't seen it, it's well worth a look. Let me put it this way. If you want a Ridley Scott film to take the taste out of his Alien Covenant coming shit out of your mouth, check out Black Rain, because it's a much better Ridley Scott film. Yeah, yeah, I would. Alien is number one. I'm not sure where I would put this. Not sure. Because G.I. Jane is very underrated. That film got a lot more hate than this film did, and I don't think that film was a hit. While this was at least a decent hit. At least enough this got special edition, while G.I. Jane got nothing. And Blade Runner would be up there in the top 5. But anyway, thanks for watching my review of Black Rain, damn good cop movie by Ridley Scott. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.